They were pioneers, men who went to serve their country.
I volunteered.
Even when their country often refused to serve them.
I could see one sign said Montford Point and the other said Camp Lejeune.
What Tuskegee was to airmen, Montford Point was to the Marines.
That was a place for blacks to train because we could not be trained at Camp Lejeune. That was a regular Marine Corps base for the white to be trained.
John Thompson, Cleo Florence, and John Phoenix were all Montford Point Marines who served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. More recently, they have become casualties of the Long War, the battle against time.
Those men, they were examples. They just did what they had to do or needed to do because of the love that they felt for their country.
Montford Point was shut down in 1949 when the military was integrated, and more than 70 years later, few of those men are left. John Phoenix, Cleo Florence, and now John Thompson have all passed away.
I want him to be remembered that he was quite a gentleman.
Christina was John Thompson's wife. How proud was he to have been a Marine?
Very. Very proud.
Yeah, discipline, honor.
Thompson passed that pride down to his sons, including Van, who became a Marine as well. What role did being a Marine play in your dad's life?
I think a central part in everything that he did, from the understanding of who he was as a man to who he was as a black man in America.
The Montford Point Marines found that much of the pain melted away when the bombs began to fall.
When we hit Guam, segregation it seemed like it was ended.
It's different when you're in combat. You don't think about things like that. Ain't no color. You understand what I'm saying? It's somebody trying to kill us, and we better kill them first.
This is Senator Hagan at the Congressional Gold Medal ceremony.
And the Montford Point Marines finally got some of the recognition they deserved in 2012 when they were collectively awarded the Congressional Gold Medal.
It means a whole lot more than just looking at it. There is feeling behind it, hardship, pleasure, and whatnot. All this is represented in this particular gold medal.
Because many of those hardships returned when these Marines came home. Was it difficult to know that your father went and put his life on the line for a country that said you're not quite a full citizen?
Still is. Still is.
Would you say Mr. Thompson was a Marine first or a Montford Point Marine first?
That's all the same. Because once a Marine, always a Marine.
But his experience was different.
Regardless of what he went through, his love for mankind, and he was a Marine.
Despite the challenges, he was Semper Fi. Bob Buckley, Fox 8 News.